Hello, my friends. Let us introduce a new series about Hazard Analysis Critical Control Point, HACCP, which is a food safety management system related to infection control chapter of the quality standards. This video is an introduction. As you see, this is the first video in a series of 12 videos about HACCP. The main objective of this program is to avoid food poisoning. Food poisoning is caused by bad hygiene practices and in particular undercooking, which enables food poisoning bacteria to survive. Poor temperature control of ready-to-eat food, which enables food poisoning bacteria to multiply to large numbers, and the contamination of ready-to-eat food by food poisoning bacteria. The most important reasons for food poisoning are negligence, ignorance, poor management, and a failure to implement good hygiene practices. Food safety hazards are biological, chemical, or physical contaminants with the potential to cause harm to the person who consumes the contaminated food. The commonest biological hazards are usually microbiological. Food poisoning can be prevented by effective supervision instructions and the training of food handlers by knowledgeable managers. Staff must be aware of the specific hazards associated with their activities and how these hazards may be controlled. What is HACCP? It's a food safety management system designed to control hazards at points critical to food safety. It was developed in the early 16s by Pillsbury and NASA to ensure that astronauts were provided with safe food. As you can imagine, the consequences of astronauts suffering from diarrhea and vomiting in a spacesuit with no gravity would be horrendous. HACCP system prioritizes controls so that resources can be concentrated at fewer points in the process. It ensures that controls are implemented at points critical to food safety. If contamination or multiplication of bacteria occur in, for example, raw meat, control is desirable to delay spoilage. However, if the raw food is to be thoroughly cooked, most food poisoning bacteria will be destroyed at the cooking stage, and therefore, the control of bacteria contamination or multiplication is desirable, but not critical at the preparation step. Contamination or multiplication of food poisoning bacteria that occur in cooked meat must be prevented as the food is to be consumed without any further treatment, which would destroy the bacteria. Cooking of raw meat is therefore a critical control point, as is the preparation of cooked meat. The refrigeration of cooked meat and the display of high-risk food are also examples of critical control points. In its simplest form, HACCP involves 1. Identifying food safety hazards. That's to say, those things in the process that would make the food produced unsafe to eat. 2. Controlling these hazards, especially at those points critical to food safety. 3. Monitoring the controls. That's to say, checking that controls are in place and are effective. 4. Corrective actions. That's to say, the actions taken when monitoring indicates that a control isn't working. This involves rectifying the problem that resulted in the control failing and often involves the destruction of the contaminated food. 6. Documentation. That's to say, recording details about the HACCP system, including details of monitoring and, if necessary, corrective actions taken. There are 7 stages of HACCP. 1. Conduct a hazard analysis. 2. Determine the critical control points. 3. Implement effective controls at these points. 4. Implement monitoring systems. 5. Establish corrective actions. 6. Verify and review procedures. 7. Establish record keeping and documentation procedures. Practical examples. The storage of cooked turkey. The hazard, the multiplication of salmonella in cooked turkey. The control, storing the cooked turkey below 5 degrees centigrade in a refrigerator. Monitoring, checking that the temperature of the turkey stored in the refrigerator is below 5 degrees centigrade. Corrective action, if the turkey has been above 8 degrees centigrade for 4 or more hours, it should be thrown away. The reason for the higher refrigerator temperature should be investigated. For example, the refrigerator door may have been left open. The thermostat may have been set too high. Too much warm food may have been placed in the refrigerator, or the refrigerator may be broken. Whatever the problem, it must be put right. Documentation. Temperature measured during monitoring should be recorded at least twice a day. Details of any corrective action should also be recorded. What are the benefits of having a HACCP system? Compliance with legislation and third-party auditors. Useful in demonstrating due diligence. Wastage, complaints, and recalls should be reduced. Proactive and cost-effective remedial actions taken before serious problems occur. Resources are targeted on critical control points, and the need for end product testing is reduced. Controls are easy to monitor and are carried out on the premises. Safety can be introduced during product development, generates a food safety culture. So, what adverse consequences of not having HACCP? Likely to contravene food safety legislation, unlikely to succeed with a due diligence defense, increased risk of preparing and serving unsafe food, higher number of microorganisms, increased wastage of food, recalls more likely, staff may not see themselves as contributing to food safety. Thank you